super excited when you talked about launching Home Goods. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind that?
Yes, so home goods is a category that I've actually dabbled in the past in Nena history, and I'm excited to revisit now because everybody has their long-term vision of what they want to do with whatever goals they're working towards, and home goods was one that I really wanted to do. I think it's time, we're ready. Most of us have been in our homes the past year, 2020, and we've been focused on creating our spaces and making them a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more meaningful. And as we've been reflecting as a company, we decided that it's a good time to turn our focus to home goods in the textile category.
So obviously you've been working with textiles for a really long time. You're really well acquainted with the symbolisms, with the colors and the meanings that it holds behind that as well. So tell me about creating sacred spaces and why home goods is integrated into that and what it means to you.
I love interior design. One of the key elements for me in interior design is that everything has meaning as much as possible. In my home, you don't see very many generic items because what I like is to have conversation pieces, to tell a story when friends and family come into our home. We got this on our travels. We bought this from so-and-so that we really love so much. Whether it's supporting someone, creating a memory with someone, experiencing something. With our customers, I think it's this really fantastic transition because a lot of them know the stories behind our naturally dyed woven rugs in Mexico and our backstrap weavers in Guatemala. They know our story, and so even purchasing our home goods from us, they have a connection. They've lived through a lot of these experiences with us of getting to know the people behind the brand. I'm really excited that we can now transition some of those textiles we use in handbags into our customers and mine in our home, in our sacred spaces.
I love that, and especially that each piece is tied back to a specific memory as well is really powerful.
And we're hoping to be able to tell as much about the artisans as we can along the way.
So we obviously have lots of bags that have been worked on that integrate textiles. So tell us a little bit about vintage textiles versus newly woven textiles.
Our home goods collection will be launching very similar to our bag collection. We will have vintage that are very curated, special finds, and then we will also have newly woven. For me, there's a really special place for both. I'm trying to capture the history of the vintage and also tell the story of the newly woven items. So vintage meaning we have a lot of really beautiful Turkish rugs that are from 1950, 1960, 1970, and I've loved traveling the world in Turkey, in Morocco, and finding these really special pieces. The newly woven collection is the same intentions as our newly woven collections with our bags, where weaving is a dying art all over the world. And so we really like to balance out those vintage with the newly woven items. It's a part of a lot of communities' history, a lot of their ecosystem of an income flowing in and out, and it's really important to me to preserve the traditions, which is another reason why we wanted to launch home goods, because bags definitely have been giving continual work to our weavers, but we knew that we could expand our weaving communities if we gave them another category to work on.
So tell us a little bit about the pricing and tiers in home goods as it relates back to the bags.
What we've discussed as a team is no matter what your budget is, our customer to feel like there's a place for them here. But we also, as designers and creatives, have a lot of really exciting ideas. And usually the more exciting, the more expensive it becomes. We are really wanting to play to both of those. We want an entry point that is more attainable for those that are striving for sustainable, ethical, really beautifully curated items. But there's going to be a range. We want our customer to know that there's a variety here. There's definitely an entry point that is affordable. You can also think of it as a staple piece in your home that you wouldn't change out with the seasons as much as often, but then more seasonal items that are more specific with design details.
Tell me a little bit about what your thoughts are on styling and curating your own sacred space with home goods, and what we can really expect to see in the range of product offerings.
We are going to be offering rugs in a variety from different countries, vintage and new, throws and coverlets, some vintage but mostly new, that can be used for your couches and for beds. We'll also have pillows and wall hangings. And a lot of our wall hangings are actually interchangeable, that they could be rugs or wall hangings. Really, when we go through this launch of our marketing, we'll be showing our customers how we would suggest styling most items. And again, we like to use them interchangeably, where you could use them in a bedroom, in a kitchen, in a dining room, or a living room. As far as the way we will be releasing home goods, it won't be as frequent as our bags, because they are more of investment pieces that are meant to live with you a really long time in your home. They won't be on the same day as backdrops, so you can plan on coming to visit us on our website on a different day.
I think it's actually really important as we've been in our homes this past year and have been really just bombarded by life in general and the craziness. I think that home is a sanctuary.
So I love that concept. I hope we really bring that to people's homes.